All right, everyone, welcome to another Tuesday at 10. We're so glad you can join us today. Today, we are going to be talking about how to attract clients as a realtor in 2026. So some of the methods may have chosen, may have changed, but the whole thing is still the same. We're going to be talking about how to get referrals, how to get your clients, all that good stuff. So referrals aren't dead, but they don't work like they used to. So someone gets your name, and before they ever even call you, they've already checked you out. They have checked you out online, they've looked you up, they're scrolling. So getting your name to the potential client is step one. The next five steps happen on your Instagram. Now, this can be used also for Facebook. It can be used for TikTok. It can be used for any social media platform that you use. For this training, we're just talking about Instagram, but this can go across various platforms as well. So what happens when someone gets your name? They see Liz Reynolds, realtor. Maybe they heard it in a conversation. Maybe they, were scrolling. After they get your name, they check your Instagram page. They've scrolled your posts. They've maybe watched a story or two. Maybe they've Googled you. They maybe have already compared you to other agents that they have done the same. They may even know your kids' names, what activities your kids are in, your pets. The list goes on and on. You're being evaluated before you even know that you're being considered to be their realtor. So this evaluation happens whether you know about it or not. And what happens if you lose the evaluation? Well, no one tells you. They just quietly choose another realtor. But I want you to know when this is happening. It's not happening during office hours. It's not happening in, the morning. It's happening at 9 p.m. when someone's half scrolling in their bed. This happens to me all the time. I do it. I scroll in bed. My phone falls on my face, all that good stuff. And when they're scrolling at night, they're trying to figure out if you're the right person to trust with the biggest purchase of their life. So I want you to think about it like this. Your social media feed is the interview. So it's kind of shifted a little bit. Before in the past, maybe when it was more, going to a listing appointment, or maybe a buyer consult, that was the time to kind of shine. It still works that way, but your feed is your first step through the door. So consider it like your preliminary interview. I cannot speak. I need some coffee. So when someone lands on your page, they're asking a lot of questions. The agents that I speak to that get the "I've been following you for a while" messages, it's kind of creepy, right, on their DMs, but it's like in a non-stalker way, like they're just, it just sounds stalkerish, but they're not stalking you. But they say, "Hey, I've been following you for a while." They aren't necessarily better agents. They're not actually better agents than you. They're not doing anything else. They just have that their feed has the answers to their questions. So some of the questions that they may have is, does this person actually sell homes? Do they know this area? Do I trust them? And this is why it's so important to, number one, not only be a secret agent, but also showcase three important pillars. So the three important pillars are real estate knowledge, knowing your local market, and also sprinkling in some personal information about yourself. So I want you to take a look at your last 9 posts and answer these questions on the screen. Does this person actually sell homes? Do they know this area? Do they seem like someone I want to work with? And can I picture myself trusting them? So these last 9 posts are going to answer all of these questions, whether you meant them to or not, which is why it's super important to make sure that you have the 3 pillars on your social media. So what makes someone think this is my agent? This is the agent that I want to work with. Well, people are tired of the just listed and just sold post. As much as those are fantastic because they showcase yourself as a realtor, that you're out there, you're doing the job, people want more. They want to know more about the success stories. They want to know more about the feelings, the emotions, the ebbs and flows that went through. They want more emotion behind it. They want to see more of you. They also want to see more of you in your neighborhood. So they want to know your recommendations. It's like being a realtor now is so much more than helping someone with the purchase of their home. Realtors now have to be content creators. We have to be local experts. We have to have a list of recommendations, all of these things. So they want to know your success stories. They want to know what neighborhoods you're in. They want to know your recommendations. They want to know, where would Daniel go for a local coffee in this area? They want to feel like they know you already. So that is a big decision factor. So when your page is cohesive, it feels cohesive, you feel more trustworthy. So it's always important to have the 3 pillars. Now, most agents' pages, they look like a billboard. The call me, just sold, just listed, kind of like what we talked about. But have you ever heard the saying, money talks, but wealth whispers? The goal is to showcase the stories without throwing things in people's face. The goal is the emotion. It's not about the billboard. It's about having a feed that whispers and says, I'm damn good at my job. Because real estate is a people business. So we need to put the people back into it. We need to stop selling constantly to people in their face, because if you sell constantly to people in their face, yeah, they know, okay, this agent's going to get the job done, but do I trust them? Do we hit it off? Things like that. So we need to put the people and the emotion back into it. One of the things, like if y'all saw the Super Bowl this past weekend, I love watching the Super Bowl commercials. And my favorite thing about the commercials this year was I saw a lot of commercials about real estate, about homes, about family, and they were all like really emotional, tugging commercials about being a good neighbor, people moving into the neighborhood, finding a home for your family, feeling that security, feeling those emotions. And I love that they brought that back in. So when you think of real estate, I want you to remember that it's a people focused business. When was the last time you saw an Instagram post or Facebook post and thought, I would be friends with this person? Or this person and I both love, whatever. This person and I both love golf. This person and I both love barbecue. When was the last time that you were scrolling and you saw an account that said, I could be friends with that person? Like I think this person and I would hit it off. That is the goal for your clients here to when they look at your social media page. So maybe you don't need more followers. Maybe you need someone to stop scrolling and think, okay, I'm going to message them, because what we need is more quality. That what moves the needle and refers you out to other friends. So you need someone to see your profile and think, I'm messaging them. I trust this person. I can be friends with this person. So here's some homework that I want to give you. I want you to take a screenshot of your Facebook profile. It could be your Facebook profile, it could be your Instagram, it could be your TikTok, whatever you have. I want you to upload the screenshot into ChatGPT or any AI platform that you use. And I want you to ask it the following. What do people think when they land on my page? Is it clear about what I do and where I do it? Would a stranger know why they should follow me for real estate advice? And then I want you to put in, give me 3 actionable steps to implement in my profile to make clients want to work with me. And you'll find out that it will go ahead and audit your entire profile. It'll look at your feed and it will give you 3 actionable steps that you can take to become a more trustworthy agent. We already know you're very trustworthy. We already know that you're a great agent, but we know you. And now it's your clients, your potential clients' chance to get to know you. So how do we feel about this? Are we feeling okay? Do we feel like this is something we can do? Or is this something that you're kind of like, hey, this is a little bit out of my wheelhouse? How are your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on this? And if not, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean it's so easy to, just post a just sold or under contract or one of those, and I'm guilty of that a lot, but people really just want to see your personality and laugh with you and feel like they can have a beer with you, you
Yeah.
know. So
And
I think you're right. That is very important.
that trend that's going on about the caricatures, like everybody's putting a caricature of themselves. I love that because like when Dan did his, it had his kid, it had his wife, it had barbecue in there, like all of the things that he enjoyed. Yeah, didn't you have the fish in one of them too? You know, and it's been so awesome to see that. And it's something so simple as that, but I felt like I was getting to know so many more people than just surface level when they posted something like that. And I learned something from everybody, from every picture that I saw on this trend that's going around. But it's just cool to kind of open the door a little bit and just let people peek inside every now and then. So, but Liz, any thoughts?
No, I agree. I think that they want to be able to see someone actually working. But so I, do try to sprinkle in some personal things in there. And at the same time, I kind of just go back and forth between, work and some personal things. Um, for two reasons, because I mean, we're human. We all have a life, right? We all have family. And I, some people are very, or some, for example, buyers, you don't, I mean, this is my personal opinion. It's so easy in this business for people to feel like they can call you at 9:30 p.m. and that you need to pick up. So I think in some ways, without me having to relay that, on my social media platforms, they know I'm also a mom. My kid also plays soccer, but she's out working at the same time, right? And so I don't I feel like it's something that already answers questions in some ways, if that's a question that they have. But at the same time, they see me working, they see me post things about the latest and the greatest in San Antonio, in the area. Something funny, obviously, because that's just part of my household. We're always, you know, cheesy with jokes and stuff around here. So I like to post things like that. But, at the same time, I feel, again, my opinion, we have to be careful because if they feel we're having more fun than actually working, I don't want to relay the message that she kind of does this for fun. It's not really a priority. If I work with her, maybe I'm not going to be her priority. Maybe she will not get back with me until 2 days later. And people want answers fast. So, we have to be careful on how we balance our social media, I feel. But
That's a
we
great
all,
point. It's a fine line. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Awesome. Well, any other thoughts or questions? If not, I'll let you go back in your morning and give you back some of your time.
Yeah, no, that was a good presentation and a good reminder of, we need to be careful how we're sculpting our media that we can control. And so yeah, thank you for that.
Thanks. Well, thank you guys for being
thank
here.
you
I
so much.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording. If you have, Liz, if you have any questions or anything about, just a little brainstorm mastermind,